Boeing used to be one of the most trusted names in aviation, strong, reliable, a symbol of safety in the sky. But now, it's a meme. Crashes, cover-ups, corporate clowning, and passengers too scared to board. This is the worst crisis in Boeing's 103-year history, and somehow, it just got worse. In 2018 and 2019, two Boeing planes called the 737 MAX crashed. Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. A total of 346 people died. Why did this happen? Boeing made a mistake in the plane's software. So, both of those crashes happened because of this faulty system called MCAS. It stands for Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System. Basically, it kept forcing the plane's nose down, because it was getting bad sensor data. The worst part, Boeing didn't even tell the pilots or airlines about how dangerous this system could be. And instead of owning up to it, they tried blaming the pilots, saying it was poor maintenance or lack of training. Meanwhile, they kept insisting the system was totally safe. During the approval process for Boeing's 737 MAX planes in India in 2017, company executives used words such as fools and stupid for the Indian Aviation Regulator Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, according to internal documents released by the company. In early 2019, regulators across the world banned 737 MAX planes after two fatal crashes. Nations including China and Indonesia were the first to act on March 11, followed by the EU, Australia, India, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, and Turkey on March 12. And finally, the FAA in the US grounded the MAX on March 13. So what's really wrong with Boeing? Why its planes are no longer trusted? Boeing does not make every part of its airplanes by itself. They buy parts from other companies. But some of those companies made mistakes. One company called Spirit Aerosystems made parts for Boeing planes but forgot to put in some bolts. Spirit Aerosystems, which builds fuselage parts for Boeing, installed a door plug panel, but they forgot to install some critical bolts. Small, but essential fasteners that hold parts of the plane together, like the door or panel plugs. That missing hardware led to a mid-air blowout of the door plug on Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 in January 2024, causing rapid decompression shortly after takeoff. Even if Spirit Aerosystems made the faulty part, Boeing is responsible for final assembly and inspections. The plane left Boeing's factory with missing bolts. So the failure is on Boeing's watch, proving a serious lapse in their quality control. Another company, MPS, an Italian supplier, used weaker titanium and aluminum alloys, instead of certified aerospace-grade metals, for Boeing 787 parts. They faked safety documents to hide the fraud, and the faulty components went into nearly 500 jets already in service. These included critical parts like floor fittings, which could weaken the plane's structure in emergencies. So Boeing and the FAA launched inspections and maintenance campaigns. But the scandal exposed major supply chain and quality control failures in Boeing's production process. In short, suppliers made bad parts, Boeing didn't catch the problems, and planes got unsafe. Even at Boeing's factory in South Carolina, some important things were not done properly. Some bolts, the metal pieces that hold things together, were loose, not tight like they should be. Some safety pins, which keep parts secure, were missing. Some parts were put in the wrong way or were crooked. Instead of stopping to fix these problems, the factory kept working fast because they wanted to finish the planes on time. In 2024, Boeing lost almost $12 billion. Even though Boeing was losing money, a big airline from Qatar decided to buy a lot of planes from them, so many that the total price was $96 billion. That's a huge deal. So yes, some people are still buying from them, chaos and all. The main point, Boeing keeps saying, we care about safety. But here's what really happens. If a plane crashes, they blame the pilot. If something breaks, they blame the mechanic. But they almost never blame themselves. And with all this, people are still buying from them. Then, in 2025, Air India Flight 171, a Boeing Dreamliner, crashed in India, killing many people. Boeing didn't fully accept blame. They suggested poor maintenance might be the cause. There were three main crash theories. Both engines failed, due to bad fuel or bird strikes. Pilots forgot to set flaps correctly for takeoff. A pilot may have accidentally raised the flaps instead of the landing gear. However, according to aviation analyst Captain Steve, a former US Navy pilot, an experienced commercial airline captain, who runs a popular YouTube channel focused on aviation incidents, reviewed crash footage and gave a different theory. While early reports focused on pilot error or maintenance issues, Captain Steve argued that the crash of Air India Flight 171 was most likely caused by a dual-engine failure, based on clear signs like deployment of the ram air turbine, which only activates when both engines fail, or there's total power loss. Audio clues: a spinning sound in the video matches rat sounds from past emergencies. Visual evidence: rat is visible in enhanced crash footage. Survivor testimony: the only survivor of the crash, seated in 11A near an emergency exit, reported hearing a loud bang and seeing flickering lights, signs consistent with emergency power switching. A possible mayday call from the pilot, mentioning loss of thrust, which also suggests engine failure. So what is a dual-engine failure? A dual-engine failure means both engines on an aircraft stop producing thrust, either simultaneously or within seconds of each other. This is one of the most serious emergencies in aviation, especially during takeoff or landing, when there's little altitude or time to react. Who is solely responsible? As of now, no single party has been officially held solely responsible, because the investigation is still ongoing. However, 3 areas are under scrutiny. 1. Air India, the operator. Maintenance records are being examined to check if poor servicing or oversight contributed to engine failure. Some Boeing officials hinted at maintenance lapses, though this has not been proven. 2. Boeing, the manufacturer. Boeing is under pressure for past design and quality control issues. If the engines failed due to a manufacturing defect, Boeing would be directly responsible. 3. Engine manufacturer, GE Aerospace. If the failure came from a defect in engine design or faulty materials, the engine supplier may share or hold primary responsibility. Captain Steve believes the ram air turbine deployment seen in the crash footage strongly suggests a complete power loss, most likely caused by dual-engine failure, not pilot error or bad flap setting.